Hello, everyone. My name's Jim Berenger, NHLRumors.com. Follow along here on the YouTube channel. Today, we're talking about the Edmonton Oilers, Leon Draisaitl, and his new deal and what it means for Connor McDavid moving forward. Well, let's begin. It's been a crazy summer for the Edmonton Oilers coming off their Game 7 loss to the Florida Panthers in the 2024 Stanley Cup Final. Again, we were there documenting it all, what a run it was for the Edmonton Oilers. They had a lot of work to do. Ken Holland, it was his last season as a GM. He's no longer there. Stan Bowman comes in, becomes a new GM. Jeff Jackson does a lot of work in the offseason, getting in Victor Arvidsson, Jeff Skinner, keeping Corey Perry, Adam Henry, the Connor Browns of the team. They lose Vinny Desharnais. When Stan Bowman comes in as the new GM, the edict from Jeff Jackson has always been get Leon Draisaitl done. It's the number one priority. But there's time because Leon Draisaitl was entering the final year of his 8-year deal that he signed years ago, and carrying around 8.7 AAV. And, you say to yourself, okay, well, where's the timeline? Well, they had pretty much all year because we've seen other free agents, David Pastrnak, William Nylander, other guys take time to get this done. The Oilers wanted to make it a priority, and Stan Bowman comes in, he has to get this done. That's the number one priority, Jeff Jackson too. And then they get hit with those offer sheets for Dylan Holloway and Philip Broberg from the St. Louis Blues. Broberg's is $4.5 million over 2 years. Holloway's $2.2 million over 2 years. So they say to yourself, okay, we're going to match it. Neither, get one other. They decide not to match any of it because they knew they needed the money for Leon Draisaitl, right? Draisaitl, $14 million, AAV, $112 million contract, 8 years, $104 million in signing bonuses, looking ahead to potentially see what's on the horizon. Potential lockout. Doubt there's going to be too much unsettling labor piece. I think we're there. I think we're going to get it done between the NHLPA and the NHL. But focusing on the Oilers and Draisaitl, he gets full no trade, no move, all that mixed in. But he didn't take as much as he could on the open market. He could have probably got 15, 16, 17 million for the production that he's put up, second behind Connor McDavid points, second goals, assists, all that, first in playoff points, power play goals. He's the second half of that dynamic duo to Connor McDavid, as we've documented on NHLRumors.com. There's a reason he wanted to stay. He played it close to the vest, saying all the right things. The agents got to get it done. We're at a, they were negotiating throughout this whole process. They understood the value Leon Draisaitl has to the Edmonton Oilers because they're in their Stanley Cup window. Let's be honest. The Edmonton Oilers can get back to the Stanley Cup final. But if they don't have Leon Draisaitl, it's going to be a lot tougher. It's not as tough when you lose guys like Dylan Holloway or Philip Broberg. You can find those guys to replace those players. You find them in the AHL, free agent market, trade deadline. You can't replace Leon Draisaitl on what he brings to this team. Great shot, great vision, great passing. The second best player on the team behind Connor McDavid. I mean, this was just a great draft pick by the Edmonton Oilers. McDavid, we know what he's going to get. He commanded the market. We know what he can get. Keeping Leon Draisaitl is huge for this Edmonton Oilers. Plus, it's Connor McDavid's buddy. They're friends, fiancés. They're doing everything together, right? And 8 years, great commitment because it shows a commitment to winning. The Oilers want to win now. There's a commitment to Draisaitl, to McDavid. There's Evan Bouchard, Zach Hyman, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Vander Kanes of the world. And guys want to play there. Like I said, Victor Arvidsson's there. Jeff Skinner wants to play there. Adam Henry wants to stay there. Corey Perry wants to stay. You want guys that are coming here now to play for the Edmonton Oilers, knowing you could play with the Leon Draisaitls and Connor McDavids of the world. It's a fair market value for a player that has the highest AAV now in the league. Obviously, that's going to be reset. It's going to be reset every year. It's like the quarterback market in the NFL, but the NFL has a bigger revenue pool than the NHL does. But, somebody's going to reset the market. McDavid's going to reset the market in a couple of years when he gets 16, 17 million per set, let's say. Like, that's the starting number. It could be more. But, they've always topped out. These guys are going to make $30 million in total because they want to win, because they want to keep the band together. And it's a different case than in Toronto because management's getting guys locked in on 8-year deals. This is Draisaitl's second 8-year deal. And it's different. The situations are different. The players are different. And McDavid's going to get an 8-year deal. When it's signed, when it's announced, guess is as good as mine. It can be announced during the season. but it can't really be announced until after January if it's in the season, and it can be July 1st. July 1st actually is when they could start negotiating, because that's when Connor McDavid enters the final year of his deal, right? That he's currently on. And I bet you it gets announced July 1st, 12 p.m. Edmonton Oilers extend. But again, that's just us speculating and having fun with it. But you got to imagine that's what they're going to do. And Evan Bouchard's there as well. What he gets, that's a question mark. We know what Darnell Nurse is getting, a little over $9 million on an AAV. Do we expect Bouchard to get more than that? Probably. Could it be 10? Could it be high nines? Most likely that's the case. I mean, the Oilers are here to stay in the Western Conference. This is who they're building around. This is the model that they're following. We're going to build around McDavid. We're going to build around Draisaitl. We're going to build around Bouchard. We want guys to come here, play league minimums, a little bit over $1 million. And that's how we're going to keep winning and keeping this window open. And, that's where they are. You have two best players in the world playing on the same team. Yeah, it's similar to the Chicago situation, but now the cap's going to keep going up. So these contracts aren't going to look at that bad. At 14, 15% of the cap, that's really good for a team that everybody has expectations for. And it's going to be interesting to see what Chris Donblock does with this team moving forward after their run to the Stanley Cup final. But it's a big day for the Edmonton Oilers. Again, if they were to match both Broberg and Holloway, maybe Draisaitl's not here. Maybe he's going someplace else. Maybe he's not signing. But they understand the value of cap space. They're looking to add potentially down to the trade deadline, see what weaknesses that they have. And then here we go. But Leon Draisaitl staying with the Edmonton Oilers. Expect Connor McDavid to do the same. Same with Evan Bouchard. My name is Jim Berenger, NHLRumors.com. Follow along, like, subscribe to the channel. Take care. Enjoy the NHL season.